Morning, Fraser. Heading off the men's group. And then gonna head over and pick some fruit. Maybe move some doors for Craig. We'll see what happens.
Busy. You could just set this up somewhere and...
Well, you can do that too. Go grab the tower. I'm fine. You don't have to hold on to it.
It's wobbling. Rick's doing sketchy things and he's driving me crazy. Alright, there he is picking cherries. Can't see him because it's too bright.
Can you even see me?
I can't see you. It's bright. And it makes me dizzy looking up, so I'll see. Can't tell. Can't tell if it's recording even. Not sure if Fraser saw you up there.
What's that?
I said I'm not sure if Fraser saw you up there.
Good thing is freedom. If you don't spray it, it gets warm, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what you were saying. That's what Lorraine was saying anyway.
Yeah.
You pull it out just a little bit, please. A little bit. A little bit. A little more. A little more. A little more. That's fine.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wisdom. I did, yeah. His buddy will like that, seeing him climb trees. Can't tell, but maybe it'll get you.
You went salt.
There's one to be straight ahead. And there's one up high there. No. Oh, one straight above your head. Like straight above your head, like right there.
This?
Above your nose.
Above my nose. On the branch that I'm holding
Right
in my
above
hand?
my head. No.
No. Okay, thank you.
There it is. Any more up there?
Any more there?
What can I do? Anything?
We'll just branch up.
Well, that's the high part of that branch.
There's a few up here.
The branch is coming with you now.
Just gotta reach a little.
Sun still against your eyes?
No, I'm looking the opposite direction now.
It's not too bad. Not seeing one on that one.
That's easy. 5.
Yeah, that's the same one. I think you were looking on the other angle.
I think that's it. Unless you guys see any more.
Not on this tree.
bucket.
That wouldn't be the first time that's happened to somebody.
Got hit by the branch.
You did?
No, the bucket.
Oh.
Yep.
All right. So Frank and Lorraine were nice enough to allow me to try one of these type ladders.
You need to back up like 4 or
I don't
5,
wanna-
10 feet, a little more, a
I
little
got
more,
it.
a little more, a little
I can
more,
see
a
it.
little more.
I can see the ladder.
You know, I tell you, I never thought these would be a stable ladder, but that was probably one of the most stable ladders I've ever been on. So, who knew?
Fun.
Thank you.
It's hooked. It's hooked in the middle.
Yep, hooked right there.
Yeah. Good.
All right, there we go.
That's it.
I just noticed there's one more cherry up there.
I left that one because it had some bites out of it. All the ones that are up there had bites out of them. That's an easy out, eh?
She was waiting for you to put the ladder away too.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. No, I don't know what.
It was fun. Don't ask me again.
Oh, I'll do that again. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know where you and Frank are at with the whole argument about the bush there, the hedge.
The one along the driveway.
Yeah. You want it cut? You want it cut?
Just along here, right?
Lorraine was talking about putting up like a mini fence
Yeah,
to block it back. What's that?
Look at the pretty. Look at that. So pretty. Uh-oh. Now he's making him do more. See, I never...
It's a good little machine though.
Yeah, it's all right.
Battery, yeah.
All right, so trying to work on the Ford Explorer, Sam's old car for Cass, just to try and get this working, because this is not working. It's making motion, it's making an attempt, it's just not working.
Maybe if you lift the seat up higher?
Possible.
Not tons, but a little bit extra.
It's just weird that it's wrapped around like that, right?
Who knows what factories do?
Okay. Can't be nothing.
So one of the things that was mentioned is the seatbelt base or something. The locker. I'm thinking the one they're talking down on that side. They say that can sometimes get in the way and cause an issue.
Okay, let's take a look at that.
That was one of the fixes, but I just couldn't tell by looking underneath. I don't know what it's supposed to look like, so.
Oh, you need both.
I know, but you have a mechanical brain, and I have a read the internet and see what they say brain.
Yeah.
I don't want to take it out if they don't have one though.
Well, I can't fix it if it's in. I've got to take it out. I don't have a choice. Right? You want me to fix it or we toss it? Because I can't do both, right?
Maybe there's a rat living in the sliders.
What's that?
So maybe there's a rat living in the sliders.
Maybe. I'm trying to cut a slot now for a screwdriver head. Because if I can get a common screwdriver in there.
You didn't turn the keys off or anything?
The keys should be off. I turned them off, but it's a what do you call a impact driver. That hurt. That hurt. Bit driver with a common almost never works. Yep. Bending it already. Bent the bit. Try one more. Nope. Bent the bit. You're incorrigible.
I'm funny.
Screaming happy.
Spray it.
Turned a 10mm into a 9mm. Let's see if she works. Nope. Man, that thing is solid in there.
Liquid stuff.
No, way beyond that.
Oh.
Way beyond that. It's out. The seat is out. Spring fell. I don't know whether the spring's supposed to be in there or not. Don't know. But I'm gonna call Black Point Auto, see if they've got a manual seat, and we'll see. Hey, Fraser. Hope you're having a good day today, bud. I'm talking a little quiet because it's a late day again. Been plagued with computer problems for the last 3 days. Yeah, I just had so much video on there. I had to move and get onto like a terabyte separate drive. The computer, for whatever reason, seems to be using a lot of memory, all of my memory at times, and my CPU is not up to snuff for that either, right? So just things, right? So when technical jargon, right? I go to do things, and sometimes it takes 10-15 minutes, and I come back half an hour later, and it's not done, and it's failed, so I've got to do it again, kind of thing, right? So, oh, the world of the technologically challenged. But anyway, what went on today? It was men's group today. Went to men's group, that was good. Before I went to men's group, I stopped over at the CE building because all of the interior doors for the CE building were half painted. And Craig tried to move some last night, but I guess he hurt his back doing it because they're like 100 pounds each, right? So I went in before men's group and flipped them all over so that he could go back and paint the rest. Then after breakfast, Allie and I went over to Frank Lorraine's and got in the middle of it. Well, we picked the cherries first because they were worried the cherries were all ripe and they weren't gonna last. So I guess they're early this year, but at least they got some, right? They got a bucket size full, right? So yeah, played on that ladder for a little while, and again, ridiculously stable ladder. Those things with the single leg on the front always sketched me out. It was always like, no, I'm not getting on one of those because that's nuts. I can't believe how stable those things are. Again, I felt more comfortable on that than I did on most ladders. And it's aluminum, it was light to move, easy to move, but it was very, very stable. And then I kind of got in the middle of a domestic there. Because Frank wanted me to take the hedge trimmer and trim, the hedges that have overgrown over the side of the driveway. And Lorraine didn't really want me to do that. She was like, I'm going to tie him back up. So I was kind of like, Frank's saying, do it. And Lorraine's going like, I don't really know. Anyway, yeah. So she let me do the one, and then she told me to do a second one. And then we're going over across the driveway to do a third. I didn't have this section on video, but nonetheless, I was going to do a bit of a hydrangea plant and clean that up a little bit. But Lorraine was doing something, and so it was taking too long for Frank. So Frank says, come on over here, I want you to cut this over here. And Lorraine heard it, and she actually screamed. What are you cutting? She thought I was cutting. She thought Frank wanted me to cut some of her favorite plants. And it was like, no, just cutting the leaves. Okay, you can do that. So yeah. Yeah, they were a lot of fun. Then came home and started working on the Ford Explorer. Man, oh man. There's always one nut, one bolt, whatever. The only thing I didn't do was heat it because of the carpet in there, right? That probably would have worked, but I tried percussion shock, I tried the impact driver, which is still kind of a percussion shock kind of thing, right? Nothing, so I used the grinder and I cut a nice slot in there for the, that was for the impact driver. Nothing was working. Ground it down to a 9 mil from a 10 mil, and it fit I ground down each side just a little bit, and the 9 mil socket I tapped on there with the hammer and it fit on there nice. Stripped that as well, so it was just solid in there. So I wound up cutting that right off. Got the seat out, but I also found there's a rogue green wire going into one of the ground areas on the back, so I don't know what that's for. That could have been for anything. I haven't traced the wire yet. But I wound up getting the seat out. I tried to drill out that bolt that I cut the bolt head off. I've gone through like 8 drill bits. It's like hardened steel. It's just dulling the bit. Like I can get a millimeter, maybe 1.5 mil, and then it's gone. The drill's dull. Anyway, I'll work on that. I'm gonna try and tap that, I think, as is, the length that it's in there, because I think I can get like a 5/8 bolt in there to hold that portion down. I'll be okay with that. Yeah, discovered that the green wire was not really properly attached, so I don't know what that was all about, but there is a way that I can manually adjust that seat with a twist, but I don't know where that is yet on there, so I've got to do a little more research into it. I've found it. It's just, it was a little late at night, and of course I've been doing the video and stuff, playing around with the computers, so I will be dealing with that tomorrow. Allie's going to go to work for a couple hours in the morning, 4 hours or so in the morning, and so I'll probably wind up sticking around doing that. And we'll see. Because I just want to get it working right. I want to get it, because I think it's just seized. It seems like there's still power there. It still wants to move. It's just not moving. So I put some lithium grease on there. We'll wait and see. I'll try the manual turning it tomorrow, and if I can manually get it to turn a little bit, then I can grease it more. And theoretically, it should be good, and I'll put it back in. And then we'll trace the green wire and see what that's for, because that's just weird. But at least they use a green wire for the ground. Green or black, right? So it was a blustery day out there. Didn't go fishing. Jordan went out in his boat, I assume with his dad or his wife, one of the two. He wound up getting a couple of keepers right up front, because it was too bumpy to go across, right? But he said even in close it was lumpy, right? So, but yeah, not sure when we're getting out next, but we shall see. Ooh, Psalm 18 is a bit of a long one. I love you, oh, this is for the director of music of David, the servant of the Lord. He sang to the Lord the words of this song when the Lord delivered him from the hand of all of his enemies and from the hand of Saul. He said, I love you, O Lord, my strength. The Lord is my rock, my fortress, and my deliverer. My God is my rock, in whom I take refuge. He is my shield and the horn of my salvation, my stronghold. I call to the Lord, who is worthy of praise, and I am saved from my enemies. The cords of death entangled me, the torrents of destruction overwhelmed me. The cords of the grave coiled around me, the snares of death confronted me. In my distress I called to the Lord. I cried to my God for help. From his temple he heard my voice. My cry came before him into his ears. The earth trembled and quaked, and the foundations of the mountains shook. They trembled because he was angry. Smoke rose from his nostrils. Consuming fire came from his mouth. Burning coals blazed out of it. He parted the heavens and came down. Dark clouds were under his feet. He mounted the cherubim and flew. He soared on the wings of the wind. He made darkness his covering, his canopy around him. The dark rain clouds of the sky. Out of the brightness of his presence clouds advanced, with hailstones and bolts of lightning. The Lord thundered from heaven. The voice of the Most High resounded. He shot his arrows and scattered the enemies. Great bolts of lightning enrouted them. The valleys of the sea were exposed, and the foundations of the earth were laid bare. At your rebuke, O Lord, at the blast of breath from your nostrils, he reached down from on high and took hold of me. He drew me out of deep waters. He rescued me from my powerful enemy, from my foes, who were too strong for me. They confronted me in the day of my disaster, but the Lord was my support. He brought me out into a spacious place. He rescued me because he delighted in me. The Lord has dealt with me according to my righteousness. According to the cleanness of my hands, he has rewarded me. For I have kept the ways of the Lord. I have not done evil by turning from God. All his laws are before me. I have not turned away from his decrees. I have been blameless before the Lord, and have kept myself from sin. The Lord has rewarded me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands in his sight. To the faithful, show yourself faithful. To the blameless, show yourself blameless. To the pure, show yourself pure. But to the crooked, you show yourself shrewd. You save the humble, but bring low those whose eyes are haughty. You, O Lord, keep my lamp burning. My God turns my darkness into light. With your help, I can advance against the troop. With my God, I can scale a wall. As for God, his way is perfect. The word of the Lord is flawless. He is a shield for all who take refuge in him. For who is God besides the Lord, and who is the rock except our God? It is God who arms me with strength and makes my way perfect. He makes my feet like the feet of a deer. He enables me to stand on the heights. He trains my hands for battle. My arms can bend a bow of bronze. You give me your shield of victory, and your right hand sustains me. You stoop down to make me great. You broaden the path beneath me. so that my ankles do not turn. I pursued my enemies and overtook them. I did not turn back till they were destroyed. I crushed them so that they could not rise. They fell beneath my feet. You armed me with strength for battle. You made my adversaries bow at my feet. You made my enemies turn their backs in flight, and I destroyed my foes. They cried for help, but there was no one to save them. To the Lord, but he did not answer. I beat them as fine as dust, borne on the wind. I poured them out like mud in the streets. You have delivered me from the attacks of the people. You have made me the head of nations. People I did not know are subject to me. As soon as they hear me, they obey me. Foreigners cringe before me. They lose all heart. They come trembling from their strongholds. The Lord lives. Praise be to my rock. Exalted be God my Savior. He is God who avenges me, who subdues nations under me, who saves me from my enemy. You exalted me above my foes. From violent men you rescued me. Therefore I will praise you among the nations. O Lord, I will sing praises to your name. He gives his king great victories. He shows unfailing kindness to his anointed, to David, and his descendants forever. I'm just going to leave it at that as a reading tonight. Love you, buddy. God loves you very much. Miss you. Look forward to seeing you again. And I will post more tomorrow.